Welcome to DONELines training. Today we're going to be talking about transaction templates and your DONELines transaction coordinator account. As a transaction coordinator, working with agents at many different brokerage firms, each with different required documents and ways of doing a transaction, these transaction templates will be a huge time-saving tool for you. We are starting on the home page. However, you can access these transaction templates from anywhere within DONELines. Simply click on Templates, found in the top menu towards the right. Then click on Transaction Templates. Here, you'll find all of your transaction templates within your DONELines account. Every DONELines account will automatically start with 4 transaction templates, including buyer and seller pre-1978, which will include deadlines related to the lead-based paint, and buyer and seller post-1978, which will exclude deadlines related to lead-based paint. On the left-hand side, you'll find your full template transaction templates. On the right-hand side, you'll find your phase templates, which include listing deadlines, which will include your exclusive right to sell and related disclosures that you would like executed prior to listing a transaction. Under contract, which will include all of your deadlines related to the transaction once you are under contract. And finally, your closing deadlines to ensure that you get a complete package after your closing. In order to create a custom template, you have the option of using the Create New Transaction template in the top, or start with an existing transaction template. To start with an existing transaction template, simply click on the Duplicate menu next to the transaction you would like to duplicate. To get started with your new transaction template, start by filling out the transaction template name. For example, if you're creating a transaction template for a transaction coordinator client, using their team or agent name to remind you of who that client is for, or office or brokerage firm. Select if it is a buyer or seller transaction type. Keep in mind that the transaction will default to match the transaction you duplicated. Be sure to make transaction template active and add a description if you would like. Click Save to save your progress while working on transaction template. To add any deadline to any specific phase, there's 2 ways to do so. Clicking Add Deadline at the top of the phase will add the new deadline at the top of the phase above all other deadlines. And to add one in the middle of the phase, click Add Deadline next to the deadline you would like the new deadline to go below. To the right of your deadline, you have your settings for your daily deadline notification email. In order for a admin, TC, agent, or client to receive this specific deadline in their daily deadline notification email when due today, due tomorrow, or overdue, just check the box next to the individual name. Remember, you have the option to turn on each individual client, buyer, or seller if they receive that daily deadline notification email. Admin is going to be the account holder. TC is going to be any transaction coordinator assigned to that transaction, and agent is going to be the agents that are assigned to that transaction. Examples of deadlines you may not want your agent to see but your transaction coordinator to see could be your introduction email, creating the CDA request with the office, sending next step emails. These are tasks that are for your transaction coordinator or yourself and not necessarily a reminder to the agent as there's no action they need to take. So in that case, you would not have them receive that daily deadline notification email. It would just go to the account holder and the transaction coordinator completing the action. In order to rearrange deadlines, click to the left of the deadline and drag to new desired location. Examples of deadlines you may want to add that are not included in the transaction templates with your DONELines account are office-specific disclosures, such as an affiliated business arrangement. As a transaction coordinator, it is also important to ensure that you're tracking when you're getting paid, so I also recommend adding a deadline for receiving your TC fee. This is one that you would not want your agent and maybe even not your transaction coordinator to manage, but as the account holder, you would like to be notified. In the event that you would like to save a new phase-specific template, simply go to the top of that phase and hit Copy to Phase Template. Ensure the title is how you'll want it and recognize it, and then hit Create. Once you have created the template how you would like, simply hit Complete. You can see here is that new template that we just created, and here's that new under contract specific phase that we created. Be sure to go in and make sure it's active. My recommendation is to create as many templates as you need for each individual office or team or agent that you're working with. That way, when you create a new property for your client, you don't have to worry about remembering to add any deadline specific to that office or agent. There is no limit to the number of transaction templates you can create, so take advantage of this feature and create as many as you need to make it easy for you to manage transactions with your clients. It is really that simple to manage your transaction templates within your DONELines Transaction Coordinator account. Make sure to watch other training videos to learn how to create transactions, edit under contract and next step and closing day emails, and ensure you, your transaction coordinators, and your clients are getting the most out of your DONELines subscription. Thank you for your trust in DONELines, and please let us know how we can help.